Now students, after discussing all the, you can say, efficiencies of efficiencies in irrigation required, right? So evapotranspiration, consumptive use. Now it is time to understand that what are the irrigation requirements in a growing crop. For example, a crop is growing, so there will be some water requirement or irrigation requirement in that particular crop. So what are the different types of irrigation requirements? Now let us understand that, right? So the first type of irrigation requirement. Now, first of all, let us understand that why is even there irrigation requirement, right? So you know that the irrigation requirement is first of all to meet the evapotranspiration, to meet the evapo, to meet. Let me write it here. To meet evapotranspiration, right? Evapotranspiration, right? Evapotranspiration requirement, to meet the evapotranspiration requirement. The second thing is that it is also used, the irrigation requirement, irrigation water is also used. It should be much sufficient to meet the leaching requirement also, to meet the leaching requirement also, leaching requirement, right? So what is leaching? Again, I am telling you, I will be explaining in a different topic although, but for the time being, let me explain you that if you are doing irrigation, this is the disadvantage of irrigation. The soil particles or the soil pores, they get choked with the salts which are present in irrigation water. So what is happening is that the germination capacity, or you can say the fertility of soil decreases, right? If the fertility of soil decreases, the soil is of no use. So to again make the soil fertile, what we do is that we wash the land with a pure water, with pressurized water. We wash the land, and that water, that process is known as the leaching actually, right? Okay. So for the timing, just remember that thing. Otherwise, we'll be discussing in detail in a different topic also, right? So next thing is that, so your water, whatever water you are supplying to a particular field, it should meet the evapotranspiration requirement. It should meet the leaching requirement also, right? Now it should also meet the nursery requirements also. Nursery requirements. Now what is this nursery requirement? So dear students, you must have heard about this word nursery. So we have different type of nurseries in our nearby areas, from where we take plants and then we carry the plants and then we sow those plants in either in a field or in a, you can say, in our homes also, right? So when you take out plant from a particular nursery, so it requires some water. There must be some water in the soil, right? Otherwise the plant will be dead, right? So there must be some water, and when you place that nursery plant in a particular field, then also you apply some water so that it does not die, right? Okay, that water requirement is known as the nursery water requirement. Okay, and it should meet the nursery water requirement also, and it should also meet the pre-sowing requirements. Pre-sowing requirements. Now, what is pre-sowing requirements? I have already explained you. There is a term known as the paleo irrigation. If you remember, paleo irrigation. So the irrigation which you do before sowing of a particular crop is known as the paleo irrigation, right? So your irrigation water, whatever water you are supplying to a particular field, it should be sufficient so that it meets all these requirements, right? Now, discussing about the evapotranspiration requirement. Now, one more thing I would like to tell you that the word which we used about the consumptive uses, if you remember. So consumptive use, right? So what is the consumptive use? The water effectively used by plants for its maximum growth. Again, for its maximum growth is known as the consumptive use, right? And you know that, do you know that if the plant is growing, if the growth of the plant is maximum, the evapotranspiration will be maximum. Why? Because actually, what is evapotranspiration? Again, I'm reminding you. Let us say this is your crop, right? So what it is happening is that the root of the plants or the crops, they are taking water from soil. They are taking water from soil through suction, right? Through suction. Now what is happening is that this is a sunlight. So with the help of sunlight, with the help of this water, they are making food for themselves, right? They are also absorbing carbon dioxide also, right? And releasing oxygen. So this procedure is known as photosynthesis. So and what will happen is that when they will make food, so this water will be utilized, and then this water will get evaporated from the leaves of the plant, and this procedure is known as the evapotranspiration. So you can say that Higher the evapotranspiration, higher the growth of plants. Actually, evapotranspiration is measured with respect to the consumed CO2, but I'm not going in that detail because that is actually studied when you do thesis in your MTech, right? So it is actually measured with the amount of CO2 that has been used by the plants with respect to that, right? But always remember that consumptive use is actually directly proportional to the photosynthesis, right? Or you can say evapotranspiration. So alternatively, I can say that consumptive use is the amount of water required to meet the evapotranspirational requirement. Simple. That thing I can also say, because consumptive use is directly proportional to photosynthesis and photosynthesis is directly proportional to evapotranspiration. Simple. Clear? Okay. Now let us understand the different type of irrigation requirements. So on the if we want to meet all these four requirements, right? There can be some other requirement, the loss requirements, other requirements, right? If you want to meet all these four requirements, so we have four type of efficiencies, right? So first one requirements, right? So the first one is the consumptive irrigation requirement. Let me rub this. Now first type of requirement is known as the consumptive irrigation requirement, that is CIR, and this is a very important topic as far as the GATE point of view, as well as the ESC and other examination point of view is concerned, and as well as the interview purpose also, right? Okay. So the first type of requirement is known as the consumptive, let me write full, consumptive irrigation requirement. Consumptive irrigation requirement, right? That is also known as CIR. Consumptive irrigation requirement. So what is consumptive use? I have told you, the water required for the maximum growth, or I can say that the water required to meet the evapotranspirational requirements. That water is known as the consumptive water, right? So consumptive requirement. So I can say that the consumptive irrigation requirement is the water required to meet the consumptive use or the evapotranspirational use. Simple. But if in a particular field, so this much of water you have to supply to meet the evapotranspiration requirement. In a particular field, you also experience some rainfall. Again, I'm repeating. If in a particular field you experience some rainfall also, if some rainfall is also happening, what will happen? Will your evapotranspirational requirements, or you can say consumptive irrigation requirement, will it be less or more? For example, earlier I needed to apply 10 centimeter of water, but let us say due to effective rainfall, I am already getting 5 centimeter of rainfall. So how much extra do I have to apply? Only 5 centimeter. Why to waste water, right? So if rainfall is happening, if rainfall is also happening, then the consumptive irrigation requirement, it is actually equal to CU, that is the consumptive use, minus effective rainfall. So this is the formula for consumptive irrigation requirement. This was the formula when there was no rainfall, you were just doing irrigation with either by a source or by a canal or by groundwater, whatever, right? Okay. But this is the formula if rainfall is also happening. So this is the formula for consumptive irrigation requirement, right? Now, what is happening in this topic is that this topic is very simple actually, but the students, when they face interviews or when they go to the examinations, they forget that what was the CIR, what was the NIR, what was FIR, GIR, right? So let me remind you, there is a trick actually. The trick is that always imagine that you are in a field, in an agricultural field you are standing, and always try to come from the field to outside the field, right? So this irrigation requirement, consumptive irrigation requirement, now evapotranspiration is happening. It means that you have a crop, right? So evapotranspiration is happening. The next type of requirement is the net irrigation requirement. Then you again come forward, right? Again come backwards. Now let me tell you what the next requirement. So the next requirement is known as the second requirement is known as the net irrigation requirement, NIR. Irrigation requirement, that is also known as NIR. So net irrigation requirement, right? Again, I'm telling you that come away from the field, right? Now, first we have seen that evapotranspiration, right? Now, what is net irrigation requirement? Now, first of all, you will be supplying that much of water, first of all, which will be fulfilling your CIR, consumptive irrigation requirement. Plus, There can be some pre-sowing requirement. I told you pre-sowing requirement. There can be some leaching requirement also. There can be some, you can say, after there can be some nursery requirement also. So all these requirements also have to be added, so that the amount of water that needs to be supplied to your land, how much water that should be. So I can say that the net irrigation requirement, first of all, this should be met. Okay, this has been met. The next is that your pre-sowing requirements. So pre-sowing, I am denoting it PSOW, pre-sowing requirements. Plus you also have nursery requirements. NR means nursery requirement. NR is the nursery requirement. It should also meet the leaching requirement also. L means the leaching requirement also. So if you meet all these requirements, the total or the summation is known as the net irrigation requirement. Net irrigation requirement. Yeah. Now let's come to the third type of requirement, that is known as the field requirement, field irrigation requirement. Now again, we discussed about, okay, the leaching will be happening, okay, the pre-sowing water will be required, okay, the net you can say the nursery requirement will also be there. Now let's again move further. Now what is that? Whatever the water you have applied, there must be some runoff losses also. I told you when I discussed about the application efficiency. So in application efficiency, what is happening? The amount of water that you supplied, right? We used to compare the water, what is actually stored in the root zone. Why? Because some water will be, you can say, there will be losses due to the runoff losses. So that will be taken into consideration in the field irrigation requirement. So let me rub this, right? Now let's come to the third type of requirement, that is known as the field irrigation requirement. I hope you are getting it. I hope you are getting it, right? Because this is important, students. Very important. The next one is the field irrigation requirement. Third one. The field irrigation requirement. Requirement means REQ, right? That is FIR. FIR. Clear? So field irrigation requirement. Now you know that, for example, this is your land. Now you have applied some water. Not all water will be absorbed by the root zone, will go to the root zone. Some will be runoff losses also, right? So in the field irrigation requirement, we also take into consideration the field losses also. So I can say that the field irrigation requirement, so how much water you are supplying? Now you are supplying net irrigation requirement. I am saying that go away from the field. Now first of all, in the consumptive irrigation requirement, you are watching plant. Now move forward. Now in the net irrigation requirement, you are watching your soil, how much water has to be applied, how much leaching is to be applied. Then again come forward, then how much water has to be supplied, right? So FIR is the field irrigation requirement divided by the application efficiency. Net irrigation requirement divided by the application efficiency. And the fourth type of irrigation requirement is the gross irrigation requirement. Gross irrigation requirement. GIR. Now I have found that, okay, this much of water has to be supplied from a source or by with the help of main canal or whatever canal. So this much of amount has to be supplied to a particular field. Now if I will release this much of water from the source, do you think that this much of water will go to the field? No, there will be losses. So there will be evaporation losses, there might be some conveyance losses, that is known as conveyance loss, right? So what I do is that I have to apply some extra water. So what is that extra water? So gross irrigation requirement is actually equal to field irrigation requirement and divided by the conveyance efficiency, if you remember. So what is the conveyance efficiency? How much water has been taken and how much water has been actually delivered to the field, right? Because there can be some losses, infiltration losses, there can be there, seepage losses can be there, evaporation losses can be there, right? So to meet that requirement, we have the gross irrigation requirement. So this is the water that we have to, you can say, get from the source. This much amount of water has to be taken from the source, right? And how much amount of water has to be delivered? This much amount of water has to be delivered. Now this much amount of water will be delivered, but there will be some runoff losses also. So to meet those losses requirements, we have the field irrigation requirement also, right? Now there can be some leaching requirement also. So we have the net irrigation requirement. Now you can say that there will be some consumptive use also, right? And if effective rainfall is there, we have the CIR, that is the consumptive irrigation requirement. Okay. Now one more question which is also generally asked in examination, that which one is highest? Which one is highest? So obviously this is will be the highest because the discharge, let us say this is Q1, for this the discharge is Q2, For the previous one, that is the net irrigation requirement, the discharge is Q3, and for the previous, that is the consumptive irrigation requirement, discharge is, let us say, Q1, 2, 3, then Q4. So Q1 will be greater than Q2, will be greater than Q3, will be greater than Q4, or I can say that the gross irrigation requirement is actually greater than field irrigation requirement, is greater than the net irrigation requirement, is greater than the consumptive irrigation requirement. Okay, so this question has been asked many times in examination, that GIR is greater than FIR, greater than NIR, greater than CIR, right? If you forget how to remember this, then there is a code which I have found, right? The code is G for GIR, going from F for FIR, Nagpur, going from Nagpur, N for NIR to Calcutta, C for CIR. So this is the code which I have formed, which I formed in college actually when I was preparing for GATE examination. So going from Nagpur to Calcutta, so G is greater than F is greater than N is greater than CA, because this question has been asked many times in examination, the relation between these four requirements, right? So I hope that you have understood the various types of irrigation requirements in a growing crop. Now let's move forward and solve some previous year numericals which have been asked in GATE examination from this chapter, that is the crop and crop requirements. Thank you.